Hello, I'm John Tabler, and today we are going to learn that you do not want to throw out the sourdough baby with the bathwater. And what does that even mean? Well, a sourdough baby is a baby that is always controlling everything, telling you you got to come burp me, you got to watch over me, you got to tend to me, you got to bathe me, you got to take me out, come back, come back. You hear a lot of crying? Well, we don't want any of that. So how the analogy would be with sourdough starter or sourdough would be that you got to come around and tend to it. You got to measure it out. You got to have 1.2 grams of this and 4.5 grams of that. And then I'm going to put 3 grams of water in, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to discard a little bit, throwing out the baby, the sourdough baby, with the bath water. You don't need to discard any of that. All that is like this. That would be how you make starter or sourdough. If you can see those equations, you can make it. If you can understand them, who's going to do that? Everybody's just going to quit making anything in the kitchen. They're just going to leave it alone. I think it's too complicated. It's not complicated at all. And I'm going to tell you a few things that other people don't tell you. And, you know, for better or worse, you try it like this and you'll figure out that a lot of the ideas and the things you're told, sorry to say, they're just a bunch of nonsense. At least as far as I'm concerned, for the bread that I'm eating, and I think you're going to find the same. And the most important thing is to actually be able to do it. So I'm going to show you today. This is a starter that I've made, but I'm going to make one right in front of you. I'm going to condense like 5 days, and I'm going to show you you don't need to throw out, discard any starter or anything like that. Because what you're going to do is you're going to take whole wheat flour, okay? You're going to put about 1 inch in. Now you can get just whole wheat from the store. And I've shown this in a bunch of other videos, but I didn't talk about some of the tips and the hygiene, like, like you're taking care of a baby, that you can do. So once you get about a little inch in there of that, then you put a little water. It has to be spring water or unchlorinated purified water, and you stir it and it's done. You set it aside. You can put a plastic wrap on top of it just to keep some oxygen from it. You set it aside, 1.5 days. It doesn't really matter. Come back in 2 if you want. Come back in 3. I always just tell you how to do it the fastest. You need to wait 24 hours at least, or close to it, overnight, a little bit longer, and then it's sitting there just like that. Then we're a day, 1.5 days later, or longer if you want. It does not make any difference. Come back and we put another inch in it. And we go and put a little more water in it. Doesn't matter how much, just put some in there. This is not complicated. This is like making tea or something, you know? There, set it aside, 1.5 days, whatever. 3rd day, come back, put another inch in there. Now reason people probably discarding starters because they started with too much and it bubbles up to the very top and there's no room to add anymore. But if you just put about 1 inch every time, you're not going to use up the whole cup. That's 3rd day. Okay, set it aside in the counter, not in the fridge. If you put it in the fridge, it's going to take longer because it's cooler and it'll slow down fermentation. 4th day, another inch. 4th day, a little more water. Stir it. Okay, now when that gets down to another 8 hours or another day, it's done, just like that. I didn't discard anything. The whole discarding thing, I don't know. That's a big waste, because you don't have to discard anything. You don't need to measure anything. I just did it. That was a 5-day condensed thing. So throwing out the starter is like discarding the sourdough baby with the bathwater. Now, there's a certain part of it you don't want around of the sourdough baby, meaning all the directions and all the weighing out of everything. we'll just leave that one asleep so we don't have to deal with it. And we're going to do it just like that. Now that's 5 days condensed. It's done. You put it in the refrigerator. Now I will say that from time to time, I will take another cup out that's clean, because it's the oxygen that gets to it that will start to corrupt it. And that's the part you want to keep off of it and keep clean from. So I'll take the clean part down in the bottom and put into another cup, and keep it off the sides, and just start a new holding container from time to time. You want to use glass. You don't want to use metal. Ideally, you don't want to use plastic, because it's a powerful substance and it can leach off of the metals or the plastics and things like that. So ideally, you just want to use glass. But that's your starter. After that, we're going to make a dough ball, same way, same simple method, and then we're just going to put a couple, 3 tablespoons of that in it, and we've got bread. Don't throw out the sourdough baby with the bathwater. It's just a quick tip for today, and subscribe and like down below. I'll see you in the next video.